You want to help your dog overcome their separation anxiety problem so you no longer feel guilty about leaving the house or having a normal life. But it feels like nothing you've tried works. And it's not that you're not doing enough for your dog, it's that solving separation anxiety requires a gradual approach that follows a logical sequence. The first and most important step in that sequence is predictability, because the certainty of knowing what's coming next helps to lower stress and anxiety. And in this video, I'm going to explain 3 ways in which you can be predictable for your dog. So, first, one of them, the first one I want to share is don't punish your dog for destruction sometimes, and then other times not. Not only will they not be able to predict what you're going to do when they destroy furniture, but they will also not be able to learn which behavior leads to punishment. And in most cases, punishment is delivered too late. So let's look a bit deeper into this. When you're away and your dog destroys, they don't engage in destruction only. They eat, they drink water, they sit somewhere, they go to sleep, they destroy, they play with a toy, they destroy some more. And so they engage in a bunch of different behaviors. So you come home, even if you happen to come home 10 minutes after they destroyed the lost item, um, if you punish them 10 minutes later, that is too late. Your dog won't be able to associate punishment to the behavior. First of all, they won't know which of the many behaviors they engaged in resulted in punishment. And so, if you don't punish immediately, which is what happens most of the time, then what happens is that they don't know, like, which behavior led to punishment so that I can stop engaging in that behavior. And then, of course, even if your dog does associate destruction with punishment, destruction is actually a desperate attempt to lower anxiety. So, in this case, even if your dog had to learn that destroying your things is wrong, they would still do it because they need to try anything that will lower their anxiety. Okay, so the problem with punishment being delivered too late is that your dog doesn't know, out of everything he did during the day, which of those things resulted in punishment. And because they can't associate what they did wrong to the punishment, that is going to increase anxiety, because they will learn that in the face of destruction, how are you going to react? How are you going to respond? Are you going to punish? Are you not going to punish? And so this is a way of being very unpredictable. And that's why my suggestion is don't punish your dog. I know this is hard. I know it's frustrating if you come home from, you've had a lousy day at the office and you come home and there's destruction. And I know it's very hard not to react, but try to think, if you're trying to solve separation anxiety, you are not going to unintentionally do things that make it worse. Okay? Then, the second tip I'd like to share with you when it comes to being predictable for your dog is try to stick to the order in which you feed and walk them. Let's say you always walk your dog after meals, then avoid switching that order around and walking them before meals sometimes and after meals other times. This is because changing routines is confusing to your dog, because they can't tell what's coming first. Is the food coming first? Is the walk coming first? And so remember that the uncertainty of not knowing what's coming next is what is going to increase anxiety. And the last thing I'd like to share with you is this. We often respond to our dog's behavior, excuse me, according to the mood that we're in. And this makes us highly unpredictable if we don't even realize it. So, for example, let's say that sometimes you pet your dog when they jump on you while greeting. Other times you ignore them because somebody's told you that if you want your dog to stop jumping up, you just ignore them. And then other times you actually tell them off, because you're greeting them, but then you've suddenly caught a glimpse of the destruction and then suddenly you tell them off. So these are actually three different responses to the same behavior. Your dog's behavior is jumping on you, but your response is I ignore you sometimes, I pat you sometimes, and I tell you off sometimes. And so that is very, very unpredictable. So my suggestion is to always greet your dog no matter what they did while you were away and no matter what mood you're in. And this is because one of the things that helps lower anxiety is to actually satisfy your dog's needs. Now, when you come home, your dog is dying to see you. He's been panicking. They have been panicking without you. And so they are dying to connect. Okay. And so that connection has to happen. If it doesn't happen, anxiety is going to rise. And so this is why my suggestion is to always greet your dog no matter what happened, no matter if they destroyed or if they didn't destroy. When they jump on you, greet them. Now, what you can do is to be sometimes more enthusiastic or less enthusiastic in your greeting according to your mood, but at least be predictable and always greet. So if you need support helping your dog, reach out to us at ZenCanines@gmail.com to book a call. We'll be very happy to help you and your dog. Take care.